All right, blessings, greetings. Okay, ready to go. Going to Guanyin, Isis, and the crystal beings. You guys can hear it out there, but if you can't, that's all right, blessings. Greetings to you. This is Guanyin, blessings. Yes, many of you are cutting through reality, maybe more than you. Yes, taking a big piece of cake or cut a piece of cake out of your reality. You might realize there's yes, many of you are going into other realms. Pocket realities, yes, you're leaving this one quite often, as you probably know. It is helpful, but also, you're anchoring your energies here for the Earth, yes, to go to its higher frequency. So you are going. Some of you go to yes a few thousand or 10,000 worlds astrally. You go wherever you can to bring energies to this world. So you're anchoring other realities here to help it evolve. Yes, it might take a while for this world to evolve, but you are bringing knowledge here. And some of these places might come to mind when the time is right. Of course, you're, in the human forms, make sure you're still human here. It's very important to play the role here, but obviously, many of you can turn that off and just be whatever being you need to be and change your change who you are altogether physically. Some of you change physicality, but you're staying normal as much as possible to be part of the Earth Collective, as you know. If there's any questions, please. If anything comes to mind. Kuan Yin.
Yes, sister, can you share some insight on? We had a few, I guess you say encounters today. We had a few encounters
Yes.
today
I
that wasn't very loving. Can you share some insight when we come across or come in contact with energies or people that just kind of challenge or trigger our vibrational state, our loving and compassion? Like, what would you say, like, how to respond to someone who's very aggressive with compassion?
Well, to step back, let them say what they have to say, but still you have what you have to say also to get the situation cleared out. But it is good to show your frustration. But yeah, some are being triggered here to cause you frustration, as you probably know. It's just they know little pet peeves that they can get to you a little bit. Yes, turning like a key off or something like that. Yeah, it's just they don't always have a reason for it. They just do it. Of course, this place changes its policy all the time. Of course, so they do what they want. They're not running by anybody's rules that you can see. So you just have to handle it the best of your ability. You send them what if you want to, or just step back and let your energy clear, and then find some resolution for it. Of course, you connected to the vortex energies, I believe, so you brought a lot of that with you. Obviously, some of them are not going to have that around them, as you probably know. So, blessings. Any other questions?
Do you have any messages to share with us about the work that we did today?
Yes, that's some of you have opened up. Of course, many of your chakra energies, and you would take that home with you. And but you realize a piece of you is still here. Okay, to those vortexes, and it's not just a vortex, of course. This is a vortex technically. So some of you, maybe most of you, will find your way back here when the time's right. Reconnect to your energy and open up more. So you're kind of opening up a doorway currently, and that has to do also with people that you're going to interact with. Sometimes, yes, realize though when you open up a vortex, yes, you might attract more challenging people, just because you can handle it. Not that it's going to happen to everybody, but just to let you know. So, but yes, there is a renewal of frequencies here. There is a lot of Lemurian energies here. A youthful frequency, yes, technically you could be here for a long time and feel like you're not aging. Some of you might feel that already. So, blessings. there is a lot of feminine frequencies that's still trying to figure itself out here, at least on the mainstream level. Some of the feminine energy has been weaponized, showing how strong it is, at least on the mainstream level. And maybe going too far at times, but the masculine's done that forever also. So basically, you're balancing so much here. It's a difficult ride, as you can see. Of course, energies of India is here, of course, even the Buddha frequency finds its way here in the US because it needs it, because yes, it has to go back, yes, to the ancient times that have been forgotten, where beings can go anywhere around the world very easily. And little by little, you all just found your little places where you need to live. In the past, alien vibrations were, of course, it's still doing that in other dimensions, but your dimension was their dimension, more the fourth and fifth frequencies. So you're basically, as many of you know, you're reteaching the past. But also it's a maturity level too that you're bringing into this realm. So you've learned a lot since the ancient world. Well, some of you have, some of them. Any questions? Some of those are beings. The light that you're seeing, some of those are actual beings. They just appear as the light. So some of those are alien beings. They're just appearing as a frequency. So they're looking at you. And some of them are showing off. I could say. Yes, aren't I pretty? There's a lot of that in the galactic realms. Yes.
There was a lot of grief that was there that being released because of the feminine.
Yes, many. Oh, because a lot of promises did not occur. Many. People go there to grieve. Yes, they left their energies there, like at any church. Actually, they left their problems there. Yeah, they're trying to sort out their lives, and it's not sorting out as they like it to. So, and think of it as like hundreds of years of that. Of course, the church wasn't always there, but it's still the vibrations are still there, though. I mean, just one person's traumas, if they don't know how to handle it, can magnify itself. Like others can go there and start feeling that same, loss, anger, whatever it might be. So, so those that aren't sure how to, so connecting to that place, that healing it, clearing it, but also kind of like teaching others how to deal with their grief. Obviously, many is not quite ready for that, but some are, of course. Some just are there to grieve for good reason, though. They're not ready to heal that just yet, but that's why you're here to cleanse it.
When we went to visit the Buddha statue, I felt a lot of grief and heavy pressure sitting in front of the statue. But as I sat there, over time, it alleviated and turned into like a light, blissful kind of feeling afterwards. Was there any release of the land?
Yes, there was. Yes, it's still a lot that's still holding on due to what happened in the past. But many trust Buddha, so they go to him like any other, deity. And Buddha, they can connect to heal astrally, but a lot of their energy still stay with statue though. But that's all is to tell others that they can come there too to heal their energies too. So it's kind of a welcoming of grief, you can say. Bring your problems here. But a lot of it has been transmuted, yes.
And you mentioned that some of us left our energies there
Mhm.
with the vortexes. How do you see that evolving going forward? You said some of us are going to come back.
Mhm.
How are our energies going to be utilized until then?
Well, your,
The ones that are left, the energies left behind.
well, your energies grow here. So it's like planting a seed. It's like as you grow where you are, so you're reconnecting to like the old version of yourself that's left here. But your old version of yourself still has some growth here. It's like you kind of like a memory of the past, but you can see how much you've changed over time. So it's kind of like a mirror, you could say. Yeah, it's just kind of like even revive yourself, 'cause especially if you're having a tough time. You come here to heal your frequency. You come back here and say, "Oh, I remember being here at one time," and that old version of you can send a healing through yourself. So it's kind of like your plant. You have a seed of energy. Energy is like a plant, also. It can grow. There's the energy of Isis that comes through. I believe she has a lot to say, actually. So, right. Greets you. This is Isis. Yeah, sending energies to your heart chakra, setting you, yes, brave souls again incarnate into a world that's not exactly the most welcoming planet. Of course, that's kind of the idea. Because yes, a lot of knowledge has been seeded here, and you're seeing who can unseed it. That's what you're here to figure out the past and reconnect to your ancestries or another version of yourself in ancient times, and which many of you actually were part of your ancestry bloodline currently. That always has to clear. It could just be a small connection, but just enough to have your ancestor. Many of you incarnate in the same family lines. Basically, what I'm getting at. Not necessarily your, like a cousin or off cousin or something around that. Cousins, something around that line. So it's not necessarily the full bloodline of it, but there's some kind of connection, or you have some kind of, basically, because it's an anchor for what you're here to do today. That might not always make a whole lot of sense. Now this could have been like 500 years ago or longer, but either way, it still has your energy there. So basically, it's like you're seeding that into this incarnation. And it could have been just a small life. It could have just been born for a couple of days. It doesn't really matter. Um, Whatever it might be, you have a connection to this current lifetime in your own bloodline. So it's kind of complicated to have. Of course, a lot of bloodlines have been erased for obvious reasons for history because they think they can have ancestries and all that. Yeah. Even now, like history is being changed, ancestry is being changed also. Notice how you don't really have an understanding of your ancestry for reasons, because they don't want you to know, just like history. But if you connect to it on a vibrational level, like if you see if your family line is a part of a Knights or a German incarnations, whatever it might be, or a Chancellor, whoever it might be, it can actually raise your energy by just connecting to it. You don't have to, you trust it if you want to, but most likely it's a mirror of the past. You give you another. Many do have a bloodline connected to Napoleon, and so on. And so it's just there's many mysteries, but it's some things that you need to know will help you in your current journey today. There's any questions?
Can I ask you a question about Melania Trump?
Yes.
Is Melania a Romanov?
There's some bloodline connections there. Yes, it's like a ancestor of that. Yes, but it's like off like a cousin, something around those lines.
Can I ask you a question about JFK Jr.?
Please.
Is JFK Jr. the vice president of the Constitutional Republic?
No, I see his energy there. I don't see him still alive though. I see his consciousness here, but I don't feel like he's still on their planet though. People call him in a lot for whatever reason that they need him. They feel like they've known him in other lifetimes. So, of course, there's a Egyptian connection to your Grand Canyon. that you're still unraveling a deep history there. Yes, it doesn't want to be revealed. It is there for sparkle for right now, but eventually it will start to reveal itself. We do see some of the mountaintops there coming down in the future, maybe not in your lifetime, and it can have an unveiling there, possibly, because there's a lot hidden there. And of course, many are part of the spectacle. So human consciousness is told just to go out there and look at it and just admire it. Like some are connected to its frequencies, but for right now, that's the human collective seems to be happy the way it is. At least for right now, it's kind of going to the pyramids. Technically, that's your version of the pyramids in some regard. Some of you know that.
Will be kept from going from the Grand Canyon on purpose?
Yes, there's something in here that needs you. Yes, and which you want to go tomorrow. That seems to be open now. Yes, there's energies here that need to be looked into. Yes, it might seem insignificant, like the vortex energy they went to, might be, but it's still a big deal because like over time it will start to reveal more of why you're here. It might not reveal itself just now. So when the time comes, the Grand Canyon connection will be open, but it feels like this area needs to be better understood. As you can see in your rooms here, there's a lot of dense energy. It's with the staff that works here, more like management. Yeah. Elitist energy here. Yeah. They'll have their day one day.
Was the woman that waited on us this morning, was she real?
Kind of, yes. Toward yes, sort of no. She kind of zones out a lot. So it's like half there. I don't think she knows where she is half the time. I think somebody has to tell her.
So is she like running, obviously trauma frequency, but does she have like entities of attachments?
Of course, yes.
Yes.
There's a reptilian energy around that one, and just which is kind of torturing yourself. Well, without going into too much detail. There's a lot of self torture there.
Did you want to share any information or clarification how the solar flares might affect us today and maybe with the vortex energy and the solar flares?
The solar flares, yeah, for more protection, will give you actually energy to do what you're here to do today. I feel like it's more of a positive than a negative. And some of you are awakened just to see it, to feel it. It's just sort of, it works through you. Yeah, you're there to kind of welcome it if you're awake there in that time. Like a shooting star energy, also. That's, yeah, basically the star being is just saying hello, basically. It's there for various different reasons. That's basically, they keep it simple for their communications for obvious reasons. Yeah, the key thing is like, hey, we're here, but we don't want to interrupt you for what you're doing. Especially if you're having a deep conversation with your friend, you see a shooting star. They don't want to interrupt. It's like they show up, like they're listening too. You know, you just don't see them physically. Well, first off, you allow them to, and so they just show up. Yeah, they just can hear. They can feel the frequency of it. They might not know every word that you're saying, but they can feel where it's coming from, what your heart, your intentions are, the chakras of people around you opening. You just feel that this new flux of frequency. Look at it that way. Of course, the political situation in our world, not to go too deep into that, it's similar to the ancient the Egyptian energies, at least during the time when corruption came through. Basically, the same energies been repeated throughout history, of course. And you're seeing the same thing, even during ancient, your current presidential situation. There is similarities to the ancient times also. So you're just seeing more in the modern era. That's all.
How do we break that cycle?
Exposing it without having it affect you negatively. Like you don't want to take away your voice. Like if you say it on social media, don't feel like you want to just get yourself banned just because you're telling the truth. It's good to still have that trumpet to say what's on your mind. So there are ways of getting around being, kicked off platforms. Of course, sometimes you can't help it, but just and be patient with it. Just what you feel is right. Realize yes, your energy goes into the collective, so the right people will find you. Or it's just that there's the beings doing this don't really care currently, but they realize people are becoming more aware of what's happening. Though they don't care much for that. Of course, there will be a time when humans will turn into alien beings on camera. I haven't quite got to that, but you're building up to it. I'm not sure. Usually, the monitor will break up or something like that. They won't necessarily let that happen on screen just yet.
Like in a negative way, like
Yes.
Can you tell us a little more history about the Red Canyon?
I can tell you what I'm allowed to say because even us, we can't always go into details of it. It's that sacred. It's like basically what do you feel from it in your own, what do you pick up from it? Follow that. It has many histories connected to it. It's hiding a lot currently. Notice even those that try to hike on it, it's kind of a dangerous place too. So it's kind of like ruins of an old empire, you could say. So there's been many civilizations there, let's put it that way, in the past that were deliberately erased. So, but it looks nice though. No, they're not going to say. It just said, well, you can say that there was a darkness there at one time. That was, this had to be destroyed. Let's put it that way. It's been cleansed ever since. So now it's more of a pleasant place. It wasn't always like that. It still has a lot to work on, but it's a lot nicer than it used to be. That has, Grand Canyon's gone through a lot of cleansing, actually. More than here, actually.
There were Native American accounts of them dealing with giants with 6 fingers.
Mhm.
Are there residual energies there in the Grand Canyon?
Yes. You can say that was one of their homes, yeah. It wasn't just giants, there were other beings there too.
Do they have a presence right now, or is
Yes.
that a part particularly why it's so under wraps?
Well, they can appear in a fourth dimension. They can't appear physically, though. But I don't think they ever went to sleep. But yes, some might become more aware that you can connect to them, but they're still kind of hidden. They've always been curious about this world, so waking up. There might be some that are waking up, but there's been many aware of you for a long time.
Is there a Stargate in the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, several.
Several?
Mhm. I would say 8, but I believe there's more than that. That's kind of actually quite a bit, actually. Well, there's people that went there and disappeared, from what I'm gathering. Well, they were down in the trenches of it and disappeared.
So the trench is unsafe?
They can be, depending on who you are. Yes.
So stay on the rim?
Do as you want. Some people are okay. Some people are, well, should be all right for the most part, but you'll know. If you feel danger, that says, well, there you go. But that doesn't mean that you'll disappear. There might be just beings there living there that just don't want you there. Doesn't mean anything will happen to you. But so if you're down, deep into the Grand Canyon, and there's beings there that feel like there's nobody around, they might mess with you. Not necessarily they'll show up physically. Of course, you never know on that, but not likely. Of course, if no one's around, who would know? But it's not likely. But if you're down, if you're deep in the Grand Canyon, there are a possibility of you actually seeing a being, like at least in your third eye. Just a quick glimpse, or several glimpses for that matter, depending on where you are. But you have to be down there for quite some time, because like you absorb the frequencies of it, and you just feel a little bit more confident of it. It all depends. Everyone's different. It's like the longer you're there, the more strangeness you see. That's anybody, depending on how open you are, of course.
Statement has been made about watching the water occasionally, and I've heard it from other channelings and things like that as well. Do you know what they're referring to when they say watch the water?
Like in what, like where, like everywhere, or
I was
like the ocean water? Is that what you
not
mean?
sure. I just know that they're saying to pay attention to the water.
Yeah. They're just more scared of, floodings and things like that. That's all we're seeing with that. And even spirit beings get paranoid. Okay. All right. So we connect to the crystal beings of Sedona. So, all right. Many blessings. Greetings to you. We are the crystal energies of Sedona, but we're also connected to Mount Shasta. Greetings to you all. Of course, all your places here are connected, of course. There is, yes, this is basically, Sedona is like an extraterrestrial hub, as some of you know. You might not be seeing the beings, but they're here. They all do kind of connect to each other, at least in the skies. And just as a spiritual parking lot, get together, a little fire in the sky for themselves. This is like a neutral zone where normally is a neutral. Of course, with man, they do their thing. They're not very neutral, at least in this area. Some, that's kind of sketchy there, but humans aren't always the most neutral beings. But here, there is a neutral energy. So this is why you have all these diverse type of beings here. And some are positive, some are not, and so that's why you might feel the diverse frequencies here every once in a while. Of course, the negative ones who get like your hotel staff a little bit more edgy, even add to that ego. It's like, hey, can you be more narcissistic for us? They can actually add to that. So, and it happens to other places too. Of course, New York City has a great deal of that. Without going into that detail. That's like a narcissistic city altogether. Even the bums are narcissistic. There you go. But Sedona is, the frequency is basically higher dimensional beings. A lot of them did kind of, you could say, died here, but left their frequencies here. It turned into crystal energies. Like they left here, like their souls left, but they left crystal frequencies, fragments here before they left. That's one way of looking at it. Not all that crystal energy is like that, but there's quite a bit like that way. Basically, I've left their history here. And hired some of you have been crystal energies too. I'd say all of you have, but some of you have been crystal energies. You probably remember that. And if there's any questions,
With the grid work today, we left some seeds
Mhm.
that with the grid work today, I left some seeds
Mhm.
at the 3 locations we went to.
Mhm.
We've been asked to leave those or bury those on occasion, depending on what type of grid work we're doing, if we bury them or just leave them on the land. Can you clarify or confirm how those seeded energies that we're getting from the etheric realm, how does that help or work with or interact with the crystals?
Well, I see it working within from now on till 5 years, maybe longer than that. But see a 5 year energy there. So it's talking to the ground. As soon as you left them there, it started seeding just as you did that. Basically, bringing a protection energy and also welcoming those. It's kind of like calling on people to come visit that area because they're there. So it shows you don't have to be there physically. So that was the main reason for that. And you can talk to it too. You might not. Sometimes you might think about it, and it shows that somebody is there connecting to that energy, connecting to your energy. And so it's That's why. It's like a tool at anchors it. Just you can leave your energy just by putting your intentions, but having a seed there is a little bit more of a physicality. So see 5, 10 years. I mean, it's going to be there forever, but it feels like in 5 to 10 years it would be. You might go back there again to do more. Let's put it that way. So
Now, when you said you have a connection to Mount Shasta,
mhm,
when I left some seeds in Mount Shasta, I returned there in Asheville maybe a week later.
mhm.
And there was actually a being present that was not happy with me. Uh, did you want to share some clarification on that?
Well, it was very territorial. Yes, it might have been this not liking it, but it's okay. Just send it light, and it just basically, I believe you left those seeds for that being, and it just yeah, it's like you're kind of saying you need to clean up their act, I guess. So didn't think anybody would do that. So no, that was good. Yeah, it was sitting there hovering around. It was looking at just yes, just it absorbs the energies of other people, and so you kind of put a stop. But it's not as strong as it used to be. Kind of like sending it away, basically. Yeah.
Now, when you said you had connections with Shasta as well,
Mhm.
is that a remote connection or is there a chain of crystal underground that span from Shasta to Sedona?
Yes, it connects to both. Yeah, there's a chain. A lot of it's an astral chain. It just there's a lot of people come here, they go to Shasta, they go back and forth, and that's why. So you can say that crystal grid kind of built itself. And you can say that it's always been there, but there's been more built to connect the two together. Because many want to go become more spiritual, they want to connect, they want to heal, and so this is a hub for that in Shasta. So it's just an anchor of each other. Those that can't handle Shasta come here. Those, usually they're pretty happy here normally. Shasta can be kind of tense sometimes, as you know.
Yeah, when I visited Shasta, there was spiritual pressure going up the mountain
Yeah.
that I don't feel when I go high altitude anywhere else.
Mhm.
Can you explain like where that spiritual pressure is coming from?
It feels like it's a lot of doubt of people that are there. Once again, just like the Buddha, they're leaving a lot of their energy there. And there's a lot of agendas happening. It's not Shasta that's doing having the agenda. It's those that are trying to make Shasta their own. Like some are trying to control Shasta. Who goes there? What happens? Just like here in a lot of ways. So that's basically like an energy grid trying to keep people out. Not that it's successful with that. Well, somewhat it is. They don't want people to connect to it and heal it.
Or was that just a reaction to me visiting?
Yeah, I didn't want you there. I could say. I mean, it did, but other beings didn't want you there. I think Shasta was okay with you being there, but other beings are kind of not so much.
Is it true that there's beings that live in Mount Shasta?
Yes. Mhm.
And then, that they, at one point, would heal people?
Yes. Well, there's several different types of beings that live there. Yes. So there's a little bit of a back and forth going on over there, as you can know, as you can see.
How does Telos, if I'm gonna deal with the reptilian population living around there trying to manipulate the land, do they exist, Telos and the reptilians in the same dimensional space?
No, usually at the lower levels of it, but yeah, they're trying to get people to be more selfish and more materialistic and more just you know kind of like we see in some of these areas. Just kind of lead the spiritual ideas and more of the selfish ideas. So,
For the negative entities or who more of an influence on the physical side, are the positive beings there kind of just laying back a little bit?
well, they do what they can, but people pull in what they're you know who's connected to them, like who's like similar to their frequency. So some are going through a great deal, so they can pull in negative energies. Of course, the negative entity just jump all over them, and it's up to the person to clear that frequency out. But many don't know how to do that. The more positive beings are there. Yes, they do what they can, but some people feel like they're even scared of them, so they get pushed away actually. But they are there though. They do what they can. It's up to the person to decide who comes into their energy field though. So there's a back and forth between light and dark there, as you can see. But there's like a balance of both of them there though.
And it's the same here in Sedona.
Sedona's a little bit harder to get to. I never realized Shasta is also hard to get to. But here is a little bit more secluded. So Shasta is more busy. It's a mountain and everything. It has all this, iconic energy there. It does have a ship above it. Yes, that is true. Yeah, it's a cloud formation, but it is a ship. So,
There's positive, subterranean civilizations in the Shasta.
Mhm.
Are there positive ones underground here in Sedona as well, or is it predominantly reptilian?
with Shasta, there's a lot of reptilian energies, of course. There's also a lot of feline frequencies there, and there's actually Garthian energy. It's a doorway to a Garth, actually, but it's within the mountain itself. With Sedona, there is just less of it here. There are actually more elemental beings here, elf people, and fairy energies here. Actually, might not always see them, but they're here. They usually keep them. Not only they keep to themselves, but they are here. There's doorways to them. Not the easy ones to find though. But with Sedona has a rebuilding of DNA. That's something Shasta doesn't have as strong energy, but Sedona does. So if you're here for a long time, you feel yes, it's like a rebirth. Almost not exactly going to be healed completely, as maybe looking for med beds. Depending on your frequency, it has that frequency. It can heal you over time, depending on who you are. Oh, the crystals itself, yeah, the crystals, and the entities that used to live here. Technically, they still do in other dimensions. That's why they want to keep people out, make it difficult to get here. So,
Are you okay with, people owning, purchasing crystals?
mhm. Yes. Well, Crystal calls for you. Here, behind me. They're calling. They call you. They want. They want you. No, not at all. No, it's because crystals can regrow. They can grow themselves here. But they want. Yeah, there's like if you're some of those crystals have been relatives of yours in previous lifetimes. At least in other realms, or sometimes it's someone new, but a lot of times they're just old friends, things like that. Sometimes you feel like it's a baby, or it has a consciousness. So they welcome it though because they need that frequency because that's their purpose is of a healing frequency. So
As a crystal being, for those of us who have trouble like balancing their own energy, their own masculine and feminine energy within themselves, do you have like any tips for people on how to do that?
well, it's like having a crystal to wear, or several of them, or all everything. A crystal bed. It can help, yes. It's just some can't help themselves, but you can have some kind of physical tool. That's good. And also, I feel kind of like the mantras are good also to release negativity. Like if you read it, some mantras do clear, but you have to find the right type of mantra. So crystals work. A healer can help also, but many have many. Those are hard to heal. They've had many human lifetimes here, and so it's just hard to have something retrain yourself. And you're not always meant to either. So just basically buy a bunch of crystals. That's the easy way. We're having people give it to you don't. I mean, actually, one large one is sometimes good. You don't need a whole lot. But if you need to carry one, a small one is just fine. Also, sometimes around the neck or earrings for those. For male, it'll be or you just have one in your pocket. Everyone's different. That happens. It's individual, so it's one that works for you the best. Not really, no. There's selenite can be help. Of course, that's more of like a clearing energy. Selenite is just accessible. It's just easy to get, and sometimes this is smaller, the easier. Just the smallest crystal could be the best we can ever have. So, small gemstone, whatever it might be, something that's the smallest thing. You never know. So,
Can you speak about Andara crystals and their history, their origins?
Atlantean energies there. They have been used for many purposes, positive and not so positive. So yeah, it's good to do a clearing on those crystals because they carry a lot of history, but they can be very powerful also. Open up the third eye. I mean, it's just basically just a protection zone, basically. But it can be very depending on the right person. You can help you remember even lifetimes, depending on what if you were around that crystal or you had a lifetime during that crystal when that crystal is very powerful. It can help you remember. Like if you had a lifetime as a feline, you have that crystal in your hand and see yourself as a feline being, and so on. So, I mean, crystals themselves are like little vortexes. They do open up little portals, little small ones, to bring in that radiate that frequency. They kind of cut through this reality actually. So, just very small though. Well, if you know how to tune into it, of course, someone can tune into a whole nother reality. Well, you can get you can even purchase a crystal and actually put you on another timeline. So, was it the Vogel crystals? Yeah, yeah, those are very ancient. But it's not just Vogel crystals are powerful either. Well, Marian crystals are also very powerful too. But it has to be with the right person. Depends on where you are. When you get that frequency, you could do anything with any crystal basically, if you have the right connection to it. So it can have the same power, like a small crystal can have the same power as a Vogel crystal. It just depends on what kind of relationship you have with it. So, any other questions? Yes. All right, do I send you energies? So healing, so new rehabilitation vibrations, useful frequencies. So, any blessings?